Nearly a week has passed since Minnesota moved into Phase 3 of Governor Walz's plan to reopen the economy, with new guidelines for businesses to follow. But who checks to make sure they're following them? Minnesota Labor and Industry Commissioner Nancy LaPink says her agency is the main enforcement arm of the state government, but right now they're mostly focused on making sure owners understand the rules.
At least since this guidance and many of these businesses are just reopening, our posture is to ensure that they have good information and to work to try to answer their questions.
Inspections are mostly carried out by her staff, OSHA investigators, and licensing entities. But she says customers play a role in enforcement as well. Chris Erzman, the state's infectious disease director, agrees if you see something you're not comfortable with, don't be afraid to bring it up to the business owner or manager.
That we're doing everything we can to maintain social distancing.
Erzman says it's too early to tell if the Phase 3 reopening of businesses will have any effect on the number of cases. But in earlier phases, the numbers look promising.
We haven't seen, clusters that are directly related to opening up. So, for instance, retail establishment X or house of worship Y. We haven't seen any clusters at this point associated with that.
She says the numbers in the coming weeks will greatly depend on business owners and their staff, who have it in their best interest to follow state guidelines to keep customers feeling safe and the economy staying open.
Because it's up to all of us to kind of keep things in the good spot that we're in right now.
Gordon Severson, KARE 11 News.